Okay, so it is January 30th, 1948, Delhi, and I am standing outside a house that I will remember for the rest of my life. I don't say that lightly. This is Birla House, and somewhere behind those walls is a 78-year-old man who the entire world will lose in a few hours, and he does not know it yet. And honestly, neither do I. Not really. Not until it happens in front of me. So this room, this is where he spends most of his day. A thick cotton mattress on the floor, one pillow to lean on, a small writing desk. That's it. That's the entire setup for arguably the most influential man of the 20th century. No throne, no palace, a mattress and a spinning wheel. He's called Bapu here, which means father, not because of any title, because that's genuinely how people talk about him. 6 a.m., and there is already a line of visitors outside. This man has not had a private morning in months. One of the first visitors today is a woman about to leave for the United States. He gives her a signed photograph and a note telling her to live simply while she's there, because she represents a poor nation. That's it. That's the kind of thing he thinks about on a random Friday morning. Not goodbyes, not warnings, just don't forget where you come from. I keep looking for security. 10 days ago, someone threw a bomb at one of his prayer meetings, just down that path. And the response to an actual assassination attempt was essentially nothing changed. No extra guards, no barriers. He walks out to that same lawn every single evening like it never happened. I don't understand that. I really don't. And I don't think I'm supposed to. Midday, and he's meeting political leaders about the partition, because that's the wound this entire country is still bleeding from. Hindus and Muslims and Sikhs, a subcontinent tearing itself in two, and this one small man in round glasses is trying, every single day, to hold the pieces together with nothing but conversation and fasting. He fasted almost to death 2 weeks ago over exactly this. Not for independence, not for power, to force his own government to keep a promise to Pakistan. And it worked. He nearly died to make people keep their word. I've met kings, I've met captains. I have never met anyone who used their own body as the only weapon they were willing to hold. 2 p.m., a journalist from Life magazine sits down with him. She asks if he still hopes to live to 125, something he said before. Gandhiji, will you step back now? No.
Not anymore. The world needs us.
Because of everything happening in the world right now. He says he doesn't want to live in darkness. And I had to step outside after that one, I'm not going to lie to you. Afternoon, he spins his charka, the wheel, like he does every day, writes letters. There's a stillness to this house that doesn't match what I know is coming. Everyone here is just living an ordinary Friday. Correspondence, tea, small talk. Nobody in this house is bracing for anything. Except me. And every minute that passes, I feel it more. 5 p.m., he's running a little late for evening prayer, and 2 of his grandnieces, Manu and Abba, are walking with him, one on each side, the way they do every single day. That's the whole entourage. 2 young women and an old man in sandals, walking across a garden lawn to talk to whoever shows up. Hundreds of people are already gathered. Students, soldiers, holy men, street vendors selling his photograph like he's already a memory rather than a person still walking toward them. He presses his palms together to greet them as he pass. He does this every day. He will do it today too. 5:17 p.m. I'm not going to dramatize what happens next, because it doesn't need it. A man steps out of that crowd, 3 shots, at point-blank range. And the last thing this man, who spent his entire life building a country out of non-violence, says as he falls, is "Hey Ram." Oh, God. That's it. That's how it ends. Not a speech, not a warning, 2 words and then silence, and a crowd that genuinely cannot process what it just watched. Within minutes, the street outside is full. The gates have to close. People are openly weeping in the road, people who never met him, who only ever saw him from a distance in a crowd like this one, and they are grieving like they've lost their own father. That night, on the radio, the Prime Minister of India says something I will never forget. and I'm not going to paraphrase it because it deserves to be heard exactly as it was. He tells the country the light has gone out of their lives, and there is darkness everywhere. I have stood in a lot of rooms in history. I told myself that was the worst thing I would ever see a crowd do to a person. I was wrong. This was worse, because this man never lifted a hand against anyone in his entire life. Not once. Not even now, walking straight toward the man who would kill him. Here's the thing that actually gets me, though, more than the shooting itself. It's the version of him I saw before it. The version writing a little note to a stranger about staying humble. The version who fasted himself to the edge of death, just to force two governments to keep a promise to each other. The version who told a journalist he didn't want to live in darkness, hours before he walked into exactly that. He wasn't a myth today. He was just a tired old man trying to hold a broken country together with his bare hands, one conversation at a time, right up until the very last one. And I think that's actually the whole point of him. Not that he was untouchable. He wasn't. 3 bullets proved that in about 2 seconds. The point is that he kept walking out onto that lawn every single evening anyway. Bomb or no bomb, threat or no threat. Because he believed the alternative, hiding, being afraid, closing the gate, was its own kind of defeat. Wherever you're watching this from, whatever's happening in your country right now, I think that's worth sitting with for a second. This wasn't a leader protected by an army. It was one man who decided that showing up, unarmed, in the open, every single day, was itself the argument. I'm going back to 2026 now. I need a minute before I do. If this one hit you the way it hit me, let me know down in the comments.